Have you ever felt torn between what your head says and what your heart feels? Maybe you've made a decision that looked good on paper, but deep down, something felt off. Or you ignored that little inner nudge, only to regret it later. We've all been there. But here's the truth. You're not broken. You're not bad at life. You've just been using the wrong tools to find truth. The world taught us to look for truth using logic, fear, and what others think of us. But truth is felt, not forced. And in this video, you'll finally learn how to recognize it. Today we're diving into why truth feels hard to find. How truth is recognized through the spirit, not just your brain. How to test for truth using Galatians 5:22-23 as your compass. The physical feelings of truth. Why certain books create aha moments. And the danger of chasing external validation instead of internal knowing. By the end of this, you'll have a new way to test every thought, belief, or decision and know if it's aligned with truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. John 8:32. Why does truth feel hard to find? Let's be honest, truth can feel slippery. One minute something feels right, the next you're second guessing it. Here's why. Your ego is loud. It tries to protect you by avoiding risk and seeking approval. Your brain is biased. Cognitive bias filters reality through fear, past pain, and conditioning. You've been taught to ignore your gut. Most of us were trained to override intuition with overthinking. You're conditioned to outsource truth to leaders, peers, trends, or external systems. When you believe that truth lives out there, you stop trusting what's in here. That disconnection leads to confusion, doubt, and frustration. Rather than love, than money, than fame, give me truth. Henry David Thoreau. Truth is felt, not forced. But here's the game changer. Truth is not something you figure out. It's something you feel. The Spirit doesn't shout, it whispers, it nudges. It brings what Galatians 5:22-23 calls the fruits: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. If your thought, belief, or action creates these feelings, you're aligned with truth. If it brings anxiety, fear, confusion, or shame, it's probably not truth. Truth doesn't bully. It doesn't pressure or shame. It brings peace, even when it's challenging. That peace is your signal. When the Comforter is come, he shall testify of me. John 15:26. The truth is undeniable. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but in the end, there it is. Winston Churchill. Here are the physical signs of truth. So, how does truth feel in the body? A warm rush in your chest, a tingling sensation, a peaceful stillness or inner knowing, a feeling of energy or lightness. Truth is physically recognizable because your body, mind, and spirit are deeply connected. Your body becomes a tuning fork when you're aligned. Another sign? Clarity. When something is true, the fog lifts, the noise quiets. You may not know all the details, but you know the direction. There's an internal yes that doesn't beg for validation. It simply is. Sometimes it's subtle, a breath that feels easier to take. Other times it's overwhelming, tears, chills, or a calm that floods you. These physical cues aren't random. They're your spirit recognizing alignment before your mind catches up. You may feel a magnetic pull towards something, even if it doesn't make sense logically. Or a heaviness lift, like a burden suddenly gone. Pay attention to these moments. They are sacred. They are signals. And here's the beauty of it. The more you trust these sensations, the louder they get, the clearer the guidance becomes. Like tuning an instrument, your body becomes more responsive to truth the more you listen. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Buddha. Why do spiritually aligned moments create aha reactions? Ever had a moment where something you heard or read made your whole body light up? That's not just coincidence. It's the Spirit saying, pay attention. When something speaks directly to your soul, it bypasses the ego. It doesn't argue with logic. It stirs your inner knowing. That's why you get goosebumps, why you suddenly feel calm, why your next step becomes clear. Truth is like the sun. You can shut it out for a time, but it ain't going away. Elvis Presley. How does the ego hijack the search for truth? Here's something deeper. Your ego is terrified of truth, because truth dismantles control. Your ego wants to keep things predictable, even if they're painful. It seeks to win approval from others, even if it means self-abandonment. And it wants to stay in survival mode, even when you're safe to grow. So when you approach truth, your ego often flares up. This feels unsafe. What will people think? What if I'm wrong? The antidote is not to fight your ego, but to gently notice it, thank it for trying to protect you, and choose a better compass of peace. In a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. George Orwell. Think of a belief you've been holding on to. Pause and ask, is this producing the fruit of the Spirit or pulling me away from it? If it brings peace, clarity, and love, it's aligned. If it brings fear, doubt, or confusion, it might be time to let go. Drop your reflection in the comments. What came up for you? Here's the power of a better compass. You've been told to chase truth with logic, fear, or approval. But truth doesn't come from the outside, it comes from within. When you stop forcing and start feeling, truth becomes obvious. You stop guessing, you start knowing. And the more you listen to the Spirit, the more clearly it speaks. Truth brings peace, clarity, direction, and it always leads you home. You're not broken. You just needed the right compass, and now you have it. Let's recap what you learned in this video. Truth often feels elusive because we've been trained to rely on logic, fear, or the approval of others. True understanding comes through the feeling of the Spirit, not just intellect, and is recognized by the fruit it produces: love, joy, peace, and more. Galatians 5:22-23. The Spirit testifies of truth, and your body confirms it through signals like a rush of energy through the body, warmth, clarity, peace, and stillness. Spiritually aligned moments often bypass the ego and speak directly to your soul, leading to transformative aha realizations. And the ego fears truth because truth dismantles its illusions of control. But we can learn to thank the ego and gently choose peace instead. You now have a practical tool to test truth. Ask, is this producing the fruit of the Spirit or pulling me away from it? You've just unlocked another piece of the unreasonable happiness puzzle. If this is your first video, I've linked the starting point below. Go there and see how it all connects. This series builds on itself, so start at the beginning if you haven't yet. If you're already on this journey, keep going. The deeper you go, the more clarity, peace, and unreasonable happiness you'll unlock. The kind that makes life feel lighter and challenges easier. I'd love to hear your story. Drop a win in the comments to inspire others. And don't stop now. Your next step is just one video away. The link is below. Keep the momentum going. Want to go even deeper? Let's chat.